welcome back to another episode of a StoneWall's Perspective podcast. I'm your host, Alexander Stone. I'm on a mission to spread the light of the gospel into every aspect of life, and yes, I did say every, including the things that people do not like to talk about, such as politics. Yesterday, I talked about on my show about why Christians should get involved in politics, and the answer to that is because people who are not righteous have taken the place of where righteous people should be. Righteous people should be in office. Godly people should be in office. Yet Christians have backed away. And they've said, I don't want to get involved because political things are controversial. And pastors have not gotten involved because it's controversial. But whenever there are righteous people, whenever there are godly people in office, there are godly outcomes. There are righteous outcomes. In today's episode, I want to talk about something a little bit different, about why people who are younger should get involved. I'm 18 years old. I've been doing my podcast consistently since I was 16 years old and maybe even 15. But I started when I was 15, and it's been a great, amazing journey, and I love doing what I'm doing. And I just want to encourage other people to do the same thing, to get involved and to start to speak up and to wake up and to speak up and to show up, as flyover conservatives say all the time, because it's super important. And what we have seen over the past few years especially is that the people who are on the left, who are more liberal leaning, have really made an appeal to young people by the way that they say things and the way that they do things. And my encouragement to anyone who's listening to this is to start to really focus on what is going on in the world today and what we can do about it. And people on the left are getting involved. There was just the first ever Generation Z, I believe, or millennial, who was just elected into office. He's going to be a congressman in about 11 days. And he's someone who's around my age, who's around 18, 19. He's about 20 in his 20s. And I talked about this on my episode that I did with Clay Clark on his show, Thrive Time Show. You can go find it at Rumble. I'll link it in the description below. But it is super important for people who are my age to get involved. I just recently signed on to a deal with the Zelenko Freedom Foundation, and I'm their first official Zelenko Fellow. And so what that means is I'm getting more involved than I'm already doing, okay? And the reason why is because I love this country, first of all, and I love God, second of all. I'll switch those things. I love God, first of all, and I love Jesus, first of all, and I love this country, second of all. And my values and the Christian values that I believe in are worth fighting for. And I believe every single person who is my age should really get active and to start getting involved in their local communities and start helping people and serving people, and to be a living proof of a loving God to a watching world, because the world is watching. The world is indeed watching the way that we think, not the way that we think, but the things that we say, the things that we do. And so what are we going to do about the things that have come up recently in today's generation, in today's day and age? What are we going to do about it? Are we just going to sit back on the sidelines, or are we going to get onto the battlefield? Are we going to get involved? Are we going to start speaking up and standing up for the things that truly matter? I believe that there is a calling, a very, very strong calling on people who are around my age. And it has been for a very, very, very long time. I just talked about this on my show with Clay Clark, that the founding fathers of the United States of America, they weren't in their 60s, 70s. And sure, Benjamin Franklin was about 70 years old, but most of the founding fathers were anywhere from 18 to 30, maybe 35 even. But they were young people, and they got involved. And the reason why we have our country today is because young people got involved. Another example, and it's a biblical example, is David. David was the youngest of his brothers, yet he was anointed to be the king. And he was one of the greatest men, one of the godliest men of all time. And he is the only person, to my knowledge, who is called a man after God's own heart. That's how anointed David was, that he was a young man, and that he was after God's own heart, and God anointed him for that. What are we going to do today, in today's day and age, in today's generation, of young people? What are we going to do to really just speak out about the truth?
Hello, I'm Mike Lindell, and my employees and I want to thank each and every one of you for your support by bringing you the MyPillow that started it all. MyPillow's patented fill adjusts to your exact individual needs regardless of your sleep position. Because it works, we've sold over 70 million MyPillows, and now I'm bringing it to you for the lowest price ever. For example, you get my standard MyPillow, now only $19.88 with your promo code. Now's the time to get them for your friends, your family, your neighbors, everyone you know. MyPillows make the best gifts ever. In the times we're in, one thing we all need is getting a great night's sleep. So go to mypillow.com or call that number on your screen now. Use your promo code and you'll get my standard MyPillow for only $19.88. For a more custom fit, my Premium Queen, only $24.98. Or my Premium King, only $29.98. This is a limited time offer, so order now.